the 24 chapters, this is the 6th chapter, Union, Yoke, literacy and symbolic language of myths and quaidhi, the sacred poems. Spot the allegory in God's spells. I'm telling you one thing, we are Ginnungagap. We are the great void, the womb of the universe, the fullness, truth, eternity, reality, divinity. Odin given to Odin, myself given to myself. Óðsmál, verse 138 and on. Gnothi seauton, know thyself, the real philosophy. Note, what men sometimes call yoga is not union of individual consciousness and universal consciousness at all. Many try to perform yoga on the level of thought, using thought, directing the mind by thoughts, manipulating thoughts. It does not lead to union. Produces strain only and is tedious, boring. So we will sort this out. How can we tell? By EEG, brain waves are being registered during transcending. If we transcend, they become harmonized. If not, then not. As the birds and fish are streamlined so that air and water make no resistance, so the little mouse can take the strong wind by cuddling down on the earth. And when we get wider and wider, we do not feel resistance. We become fearless, balanced, the gladness of Gladheimar. And we get nourished from the abyss of Ægir, the unfathomable depth of our consciousness. It's bad to be cut off from Ginnungagap, living in ignorance. We should widen ourselves, purify every ourself. It brings happiness, hamingja, and health. There is only one way to do this, a delightful way. Perform a Valkyria, transcend the three guna, þursamegir þrír, of the created nature. Our thoughts and actions become of a higher quality. It brings lasting joy. This has to be explained. TM, Transcendental Meditation, is an easy technique to transcend, tailored for the working man, for the householder. The yellow runes, Tyr, Mother, Wraith, the easy technique which got lost for some period of time. There are other systems, not all working, some of them very difficult to fit for the busy man in the world, might not even work for this driving. They have sprouted into many branches. Gradually, people started to see them as impossible and assumed that spirituality were not for the man of the world. They got cut off, and ignorance and Fenrir dominated the people as time passed by. Even seekers of truth tried in vain for a lifetime, never to transcend at all, straining and forcing and waiting for something that never came. Þjóðvitnir, here in the role of not seeing truth, sees to it that great variety is on the market for the senses, the objects of the senses to which the senses get attached. The senses serve the mind. They try to please the mind by bringing to it joys. The mind, we, are always seeking joy and happiness, chasing things that could bring fun. The senses lead the mind into the world, as the senses are made exclusively for the world, that is, to register the gunnir in the world. The mind misses out the fact that the real joy and lasting happiness is within, some 180 degrees turn from the out there to the in here is needed. And when we learn about that inner hamingja to be sought in the abyss of silence and peace, we gradually expand our mind. We now seek real joy, lasting joy, found in our origin. The irregular brain waves, the muddy, shallow pond, easily disturbed, that's on the left, become regular waves in the middle, measurable with EEG graph. And the effects are a more profound brain functioning, heightened intelligence and discrimination. The orderliness is brought into the thinking again in the world. But we shall have to work on it. To swallow a whole jar of slimming pills at night in order to wake up thin the next morning will not seem rational, will it? Fimbulrúnir are not for sale in the world. They are earned by regularly transcending the three guna of nature, Óðsmál, verse 138 and on, and then, in between, working in the world. To make magnet out of an, we have to rub and rub and rub and rub and rub to get the particles of molecules to pull all in the same direction. We have to dive into the abyss of Ægir, into the heights of Gladheimar, into our innermost Ginnungagap over and over again, daily, as a routine for a little period of time each time. Thought can be intense on its way in, but we do not let thought's vividness disturb our aim, which is to have the thought calmed by itself, by its own nature, to seek happiness, until it becomes pure thought, then to sink, sowast, fornast, into its very origin. Complete loss of the worldly, the thought, an automatic process that should not be disturbed by thoughts or any interfering with the process. Dismiss thoughts that might occur during the time of transcending as just thoughts, worldly stuff, unnecessary right now. They belong to the sphere of which we are ridding us right now. As we pull back the arrow to get force to shoot forward, so we allow the pull back of the thought into the abyss to make it more powerful in the world afterwards. As we inhale before speaking and dig down to build up, so we sacrifice our dear thought in order to make it strong and powerful in the world afterwards. By the technique, the easy natural mental technique TM, we use a special sound to keep the mind alert, but not thinking of anything special. This is not concentrating, not contemplating, and it's not directing the mind, not pushing it at all. All strain and effort only spoils the natural automatic path home to the origin of the mind. Endless numbers of difficult, most of the time useless, systems have come and gone. They might not lead to union at all. Unfortunately, the busy man thought of this spiritual evolution as impossible, and this led to a base national consciousness, a drastically dangerous thing to have in societies. Þjóðvinnir put some inflated rubber valkyries on the branches, and he is boasting about his cunningness. When we are performing our valkyria, for a little period of time every day, we are doing that, not anything else. We do not disturb the mind in its process of becoming a thought, the thought becoming pure thought, and emerging into the abyss of consciousness. During the rest of the 24 hours we work and play and sleep. We do not pull the bowstring, let go, pull a little, stop pulling. No, we are only going to put the arrow on the string, pull and shoot. We do not have to make the mind one-pointed, because it wants to go home when it has become pure thought only, naturally one-pointed. The nature of the mind is not to wander. The highest goal of a mind sets for is to seek happiness. We use this nature of the mind, and it finds happiness within. The monkey jumps from tree to tree to find bananas, and when he finds a bunch of them, he is contented, stops running, and enjoys. So behaves the mind, even if we sometimes claim it to behave like a silly monkey. In the world we jump from joy to joy, as they are little joys, finding the boundless bliss we just enjoy. Sæla from soul, bliss, divine bliss. Sanna eðli huga, true nature of mind. Hugur verður svinnur, mind becomes svinnur, divine knowledge. The pecking order fight belongs to animals and men. Many versions of the Irminsul are to be found in Europe. I wonder if my vision of it would be the original motive. Hermóður, hermóður, or hermóður went to Helja to get Baldur back. Our pure thought transcends and finds the three roots of Askur Yggdrasils, who suck the nourishing sap of life from the unknown into life. Had the theocracy understood this, they would have destroyed all these symbols, but luckily they didn't understand the symbolic language of myths, so only the surface. We are starting to understand the unfathomable depth of our reverend forefathers' understanding of life and its purpose. Consciousness in the world is rising to discrimination and understanding.